I much prefer the idea of cultivating the biological conditions of the soil, rather than the chemical or the nutritional conditions. But why is that? What does biology do? Well, take a sec and imagine your favorite restaurant. Going there and ordering your favorite meal. Now imagine they bring you your meal and it's just the raw ingredients, unprepared, not cooked, nothing. It would be pretty hard to eat. Now imagine you order your favorite meal and they instead bring you a nutrient water solution that contains all of the components of the meal without any of the food. This analogy doesn't work perfectly, but getting the raw ingredients unprepared is sort of like what would happen if you brought in sterile store-bought compost and filled a raised bed with it and then tried to plant into it. The nutrients would be there, but not necessarily in forms that the plant could consume. Some, but mostly not. Plants don't eat compost. And then on the flip side, getting the nutrient water version of your meal is kind of like what happens when we add chemical fertilizers to our garden soil to feed our plants. It technically gives them the nutrients that they need, but there are a lot of missing pieces. In this strange sort of image, the restaurant is the soil. The workers, cooks, waiters, dishwashers, everyone are the microorganisms in the soil, and the customer is the plant. Without cooks, the food doesn't get prepared for consumption. Without waiters, the food never gets delivered. Without dishwashers and janitors, the restaurant gets dirty and starts creating an unsafe food prep environment that eventually will get the customers sick. And without the customers, the restaurant workers don't get paid. They're out of work. And as much as this is a very simplified version of how the plant soil food web dynamic works, it helps us actually understand what happens when we try feeding plants rather than feeding the soil. The plant feeding mindset puts microorganisms out of work. The soil feeding mindset puts them to work